So we can see now that coronavirus has entered the country through visitors from overseas, and now we're seeing local spread within the community. So that means our awareness of this disease and our way that we respond to it now needs to increase. Our next level of response means that you need to be aware that the virus is now out in our community. So this means you need to start taking more personal precautions around trying to reduce the spread. The most important thing to do is, if you're not feeling well and you're ill for whatever reason, stay at home. If you think it might be coronavirus, certainly ring up and get tested. The other things we can do to protect ourselves is to make sure that we wash our hands regularly, that we use good coughing etiquette, and also we start social distancing. That is really making sure that we don't get right up in people's faces. We may not wish to shake hands. You can choose your own level of risk. And we may wish to avoid areas where there are large crowds if the disease becomes more widespread than it is now. For most people under the age of 60, this disease will ultimately result in something like a cold or a mild influenza virus type infection. So that this really will be an unremarkable disease. You'll probably have 4 or 5 days of illness, and then you'll recover. And once you recover, you'll be immune. You won't get this virus again. Really, our most vulnerable populations are those that are older than the ages of 65, or those who have pre-existing medical conditions which make them susceptible to respiratory virus infections. And we really need to make sure those are the communities that we protect by making sure we isolate ourselves if we're ill. I think the idea here is to be aware and prepared, but not panicked. So carry on as normal. You can go to your lectures, you can go to your meetings, tutorials, labs without any concerns. As long as everyone's doing the right thing in terms of isolation, then this virus spread will be reduced so that we can really just have a whole lot of embers, I guess, if this was a bushfire, without it spreading into a raging wildfire. Otherwise, if you're generally unwell, you should stay home until you're recovered. You can go to all your lectures, your labs and your tutorials. If you are feeling ill, you should isolate at home. If you've travelled from overseas and are feeling ill, you need to get tested for coronavirus. This is completely free at any health service. If you are at home isolation due to illness, you should contact your program or course convener to make sure that they're aware of the situation, and all due consideration to assignments and exams, etc., will be given for those who are isolated.